Jeffrey Mikulan, Staff Sergeant, and I'm a dedicated crew chief. I'm a dedicated crew chief, acting as an FCC, a flying crew chief for this operation. So when we would go into ground operations and trying to help or set up shop at another location and we were to shut down engines, I'd be a maintenance liaison. So if anything were to go wrong with the aircraft, I'd be the first one on the scene to basically go ahead and start troubleshooting and fix the aircraft so we can bring it back to the airport here so we can fix it for, if it needed to be. Thankfully, no. We've actually been doing pretty good. Our aircraft have been flying great. We've had a couple issues here, but downrange, they've been acting just the way they're supposed to, and we're able to completely, do our missions as we planned out to be. When we first got in, it was kind of quiet. We actually started up at the Naval Air Station in Fort Worth, and we were just kind of setting up shop, waiting to be told exactly what's going on. The storm was still pretty big in Houston, so we were kind of on the outskirts of it. But once we got here, and College Station is where things really started to kick off. And that's where I started flying with the aircraft. And basically our first mission that I went on was when we went and did the FARP with the helicopter and taking fuel over to Beaumont Airport. And then on top of that, we did the evacuation of the refugees from Beaumont to Dallas. Definitely the long hours would have been a kicker, but it's one of those things where the mission that we're doing, long hours isn't going to be an issue. We're going to be able to push through. We're with a great crew. Air crew looks out for us. We look out for air crew. So any of the wrenches that were thrown at us, we were able to kind of overcome quite easily and just press on. So yes, things might have been hard, but it was all worth it in the end. I felt our maintenance ops are going pretty well. We're definitely doing the best we possibly can to keep these aircraft flying. Professionally, definitely leadership capabilities have grown. Being in charge of some of these other airmen, just being downrange and basically just dealing with the wrenches that are thrown at us, working hand in hand with the air crew, trying to basically just make the mission happen. I had no problem with, air crew telling me to do something and just make it happen. Whatever we got to do to either make the operation move on or make sure, the civilians that we're bringing on our airplane are safe and as comfortable as they possibly can on a C-130. We definitely did pack a whole lot of people in there. There was definitely a few times where they were even concerned for our seating, but they were able to accommodate us to make sure that we were still able to fly with the aircraft along with the civilians. Head up, weather only lasts for so long, it'll definitely clear up. We're all trying to do our best to come to them, make things better for them, trust in the system. I know sometimes it's not always the easiest, especially in a time where you're removed from a comfortable location and you're either in the thick of it or things aren't just going the way. Just keep working hard or keep your head up. Things will get better. When we were removing the civilians from that location in Beaumont to Dallas, it was probably one of the most rewarding things I got to do in my career. I feel that I've done a good bit in my career. I have some good accolades, but when it comes to being a part of a mission that's as real as it gets and being on the front line and seeing exactly what we're doing, it was a great feeling, and I look forward to going back home and kind of telling all of our young guys and even our leadership, hey, this is what we're doing. We do real things. We make it happen. So when we would go into an area and we were going to either do a FARP operation or pick up civilians, my first job was to make sure the aircraft is safe. I definitely wanted to make sure that the air crew was going to be safe, I was going to be safe before we even considered bringing another aircraft into the location, starting a fueling operation, and more importantly, bringing civilian on an aircraft. So I wanted to make sure everything was safe. And then from there, it was kind of just adapting to what the air crew expected of me. I would kind of just use my situational awareness, kind of gather what I needed to do, and just jumped right in there. Not being a loadmaster by trade, it was kind of out of my comfort zone, but it's one of those things where I'm going to help us the best I possibly can. I'm not going to sit idle and watch other people not help, or when there's something that needs to be done, I'm going to step up to the challenge and make it happen. For the most part, it was very warming to see a lot of the civilians. They seemed excited to see us, especially the kids. They were excited. A lot of them, it was their first time flying on an airplane, so it was kind of nice being able to talk to them like, hey, this is my airplane, I work on this plane, it's fun to fly on. It was definitely a very humbling experience because some of these civilians were coming on a plane in their socks with a trash bag of whatever belongings they could scrounge up. So being able to even just help them up the ramp of the aircraft was more than enough. So to see them smiling, even in the time that they were having, and I was able to make them at least as comfortable as I could, I feel that they were all as happy as they possibly could in the situation that they were in.